Hi everyone. Welcome back to Woo Can Cook. My name is Wesley, and this is a show where we are slowly cooking our way through all of the food from my childhood. Today we're diving back into our series dedicated to Chinese comfort food classics with a spicy dandan peanut sauce variation on a classic Chinese wonton soup dumpling. Now, I will caution you right now, if you are still here trying to trace the cultural roots of just everything that's going on in this dish, at this point just probably don't. This is a classic Chinese soup dumpling served with a Sichuan-style dandan sauce made in an Americanized fashion using peanut butter, and I know that's a lot of things. For those unfamiliar, the wonton dumpling is pretty commonplace in Chinese restaurant cuisine, using an egg and flour-based dumpling wrapper filled with a ground pork filling and finally boiled for a soft and tender consistency. Though they are most typically served in a soup broth with noodles, today we'll be instead pairing ours with a peanut butter-based dandan sauce topped with some chili crisp oil to yield, in my opinion, the far superior way to eat a wonton. And yes, I will give further detail to back this claim up today too. Okay, so let's get into it. Alright, so diving right in, we're kicking things off here first with our wonton filling, which is more or less taken right from our wonton soup recipe from a while back. This is 4 cloves of crushed and minced garlic here to start, followed by 1 inch or about 1 tablespoon of fine minced ginger, and the whites of about 6 green onions, sliced thinly, all heading into our largest mixing bowl. Then I'm taking these reserved greens of our green onions, slicing them up thinly on a bias, and setting them aside for our finishing garnish later on. Next up, coming back to our filling, now in the original wonton soup recipe that we did, we used bok choy as our filler veggie to our dumpling filling because it gives us a little bit more aromatics to the soup. For our peanut sauce version today, I went with some diced cabbage instead, since the peanut sauce that we're coating this in will already be quite aromatic and would just sort of overshadow that bok choy anyway. Plus, the cabbage has the added benefit of having a little bit more rigidity to it, which will give our dumplings a little bit more crunch than that bok choy did. Next up, this is a single pound of ground pork going into my mixing bowl. Anyone that has followed more than a couple of our Chinese recipes here will know that pork is ever present in Chinese cuisine for really no purpose at all a lot of the time. I personally make this dish with 80-20 ground turkey or ground chicken, and it yields the exact same result, so choose for yourselves accordingly. For our filling, we're focusing mainly on aromatics as well as big bold umami drivers that will cut through once we've boiled these things. Going in here first, this is 2 tablespoons of full sodium soy sauce, followed by a single tablespoon of Shaoxing wine and a teaspoon each of dark soy sauce and oyster sauce going in. Then next for our aromatics, this is about a half teaspoon each of white pepper and Chinese 5-spice, followed finally by my personal favorite ingredient in really any dumpling filling. This is a tablespoon of Chinese fermented black bean. I'm mixing this all to combine, then we're setting this aside while we dive into our peanut sauce next. Okay, so for those keeping track, while a peanut sauce wonton is not particularly commonplace in Chinese cuisine, the dandan sauce absolutely is, though it is more typically served over noodles. Those following this channel for more than a little bit should know that we have done just a lot of dandan noodles already, most often featuring sesame paste or tahini. Very commonly in Americanized Chinese cuisine, however, you will see a substitute for my personal preference for a dandan sauce, which is the use of peanut butter in lieu of that sesame paste, which we'll be using today. Personally, in my opinion, I just think that peanut butter emulsifies into a sauce a little bit better than sesame paste does, and it also adds a nice crunchy texture when made with crunchy peanut butter too. So, going in here first, this is another 2 tablespoons of full sodium soy sauce to start, followed by a single tablespoon each of Shaoxing wine, doubanjiang chili paste, brown sugar for some malted sweetness, and rice vinegar for some brightness. Rounding this all out, this is a single tablespoon of chili crisp oil going in. I like to go a little bit light on this stuff in the sauce so that we can add more as a topping garnish without becoming overly spicy. Last up, as promised, this is 3 tablespoons of good old-fashioned Skippy's crunchy peanut butter mixed to combine. You may notice how incredibly smooth and creamy our sauce becomes, thanks in no small part to that Skippy's. Moving on to our wontons next. Now, there are a lot of different ways to fold a wonton. In my opinion, the wonton and the shumai are two of the easiest dumplings to make. We're starting by wetting the edges of the wonton wrapper, then adding about a teaspoon of filling to the center, then folding it over horizontally and sealing. Then next, I'm wetting the corners of the wrapper and pinching these two sides shut, giving us a nice little crown shape like so. Now, a couple of notes here. I have seen a number of easier and or lazier ways to wrap a wonton, which yield pretty much the same result. Frankly, in my opinion, since these are going to be served in a broth or in today's case, a sauce base, the presentation of the dumpling fold really doesn't matter all that much because they're not going to be on full display like a xiaolongbao would be, for example. That said, this is still a lot of folding to do. I believe this should yield something like 50 wontons or so. So if you've got some friends that like wontons, I might recommend enlisting some help. Personally, I actually think that this is culturally a really big part of making dumplings that we can't overlook here. This just isn't really a dish that is meant to be made alone. In my family, this was always a whole family affair, most often done over the holidays when everyone was home. So choose for yourselves accordingly, but just, a dumpling party of one is pretty sad, y'all. Over on the stove, our actual cook time is pretty quick and simple today. I just have a pot of boiling water going on that I'm cooking my wontons in, about 20 or so at a time. These should take roughly 2 to 3 minutes to finish cooking. Once the wontons begin to float, they're cooked and ready to eat. Then next for my peanut sauce, I have my wok heating up over medium heat today. Then I'm adding in my sauce plus about a quarter cup of water and letting this come to a gentle simmer. I like to let this reduce for another 2 to 3 minutes or so just to cook off a little bit of the brightness in our acids. We don't want our peanut sauce to tighten up too much though, or else it won't coat the wontons properly. Finally, here's my wontons going in, which I'm gently tossing to combine until everything is thoroughly coated. I'm finishing this all off with a bit of chili oil on top, plus our greens of our green onions to garnish, and we're ready to eat. Okay, so I'll start off by mentioning that I personally love the wonton dumpling, not only because it's tasty and flavorful, but also because it's less doughy than its thicker counterparts, like the pot sticker, for example. And on top of this, it's also very easy to make and wrap. It's literally just 2 folds, and the wrappers are fairly easy to seal, which makes them pretty forgiving if you accidentally overstuff them. A pot sticker, on the other hand, will almost always burst if you overfill them because of the pleats. Now, all of this said, I also think that wonton soup is an incredibly bland and boring way of serving this fantastically tasty and delicate dumpling. Just tossing it in a soup broth pretty much guarantees that you won't taste much more than, well, chicken broth. So, in my opinion, this spicy dandan peanut sauce variation on the wonton makes a lot of sense. There's just so much more flavor and umami to complement the wonton that you just don't get in a soup broth. It's spicy, savory, and crunchy all at once, paired again with the best and easiest dumpling that I personally know how to make. So, look, I know that the holidays are upon us, and you likely will have a kitchen full of helpers in the coming weeks, so consider this your sign to make spicy peanut wontons this Christmas, literally right now. Okay, so that's it everyone. I hope you enjoyed this and I hope you give this one a shot. For those who are new to the channel, this one is part of a larger series that we've been doing that's dedicated to classic Chinese dishes, so definitely check out that series next if you haven't yet, because there's a lot of these. As always, like, comment, subscribe, share, be nice YouTubers, and I'll see you soon. Bye.
Snuggled up to